Live only on DAZN. November 15th, Eubank Jr versus Benn 2. The first was a classic. Now it's the rematch. The greatest rivalry British boxing has ever seen. Eubank Jr versus Benn 2. November 15th. Click the link in the description to buy now.
In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. 10x Token puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. Register now for your share of the $250,000 prize pool. Multiple winners, bigger chances. 10xtoken.io. Terms and conditions apply.
Andrew McCart, IFLTV, delighted. Like I said to you before I pushed record there, Sam, it's been a while since I've saw you, I've spoke to you, man. You're smashing it, so I'm happy with that. So first and foremost, how's things been?
Amazing, Andrew. Like, really good. Obviously, last night was a pretty special night. Special night to be a part of, to be honest with you. But yeah, all good, mate. It's been a really solid year, to be honest with you. It's boxing, isn't it? But mainly W's, which is what we want. And but yeah, last night was fantastic.
Yeah, we'll talk about last night. I mean, you had Jack Catterall. Fantastic performance from Jack. I mean, different. You could see there was a little bit of difference in his style. And we will come on to that. I do want to talk about that and the fight with Ekow Essuman, but I've got to stick with the main event. I've got to just jump straight in and talk about Conor Benn's victory over Chris Eubank Jr. Talk to me, Sam. I mean, Conor boxed out his skin, but a lot of people now saying a few hours later on the next day saying that Chris Eubank was a shell of himself. I just want to get your thoughts on all that.
It's easy to say it though, isn't it? Like, it's not because of the weight. It's because he's finished. It's because he was shot to bits. Or there's always an excuse as to why someone's won and why someone's lost. Conor Benn just wiped the floor with him. He won every round. It wasn't competitive. It was just one-sided. And I put it down to the fact of the last fight, Conor lost the battle, but he ended up winning the war. That last fight took a lot out of Eubank. He was on the receiving end of the biggest shots. Yes, he won the fight fair and square. He was the rightful winner in the fight, but Conor put a serious dent in him. And the next fight, Conor was measured. And I said this, I'm not saying, I'm right, but I got all my predictions right from yesterday, by the way. I predicted the whole card and I got them all right. I was like really happy with myself. It don't happen too often. But I was just so convinced that he would be more measured this time, not as emotional, and actually sticking to a game plan that Tony Sims put out for him. And even if Conor Benn did beat a shell of Chris Eubank, he still beat a much bigger man in there, and you still have to go out there and do the job. You can only beat what's put in front of you. And I thought Conor Benn was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely fantastic performance. But yeah, he pissed it.
Well, the knockdown as well in the 12th round. You can almost sense it was coming because the right hand was touching Chris Eubank quite a lot in the middle rounds as well. So you almost sense that if he just timed that perfectly, or just that one time he would get to him, and he did. Right with the last minute of the last round. I mean, if that was the first minute of the last round, would he have got him out of there?
Yeah, 100%. It was only going one way. And listen, I'm actually happy Eubank finished the fight on his feet, because like it's them two types of fights. Like he didn't. I don't know. It's a weird one because, like you said, I don't want to see that it's absolutely ironed out. But like I think it was good how it ended. Do you know what I mean? Like Eubank finishing strong on his feet, because I don't think we're going to see Eubank ever again. So it's nice to kind of let him go out on his feet.
So what's next for Conor Benn then? He spoke about Rolly Romero. He spoke about Norman Haney. He spoke about... What's your thoughts?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think... listen, Conor's got a great team. He's got Lee, who's been with him a long time. Keith Connolly. He's got a really good team. Matchroom behind him. Listen, Conor Benn's going to be the money fight. Do you know what I mean? In the 54 division or the welterweight division. So Conor's definitely not a 160. He's definitely not a 160, but I do think he can compete at 154. That I think that's his division personally now. That's my personal opinion. But if he's insistent on going down to welterweight, then it's a mega fight for any of the boys in that division.
You basically alluded to it. Chris Eubank finished. You think he's done?
I personally don't think. I personally don't think we're going to see him again. But look, Eubank's stubborn, isn't he? He's probably going to look at that and think, I can't go out kind of like that. And he'll probably decide he wants a trilogy. But I personally don't. I can't see the third one washing with the public. Do you know what I mean? I don't think the public like this
appetite,
one was.
there's an appetite for it.
Yeah. This one was like a little bit harder to push than the first one. The first one was like brilliant, glamour, the build up, and the second one was a bit more. You could tell they had more respect for each other. The third one, because Conor won so easily, it's very hard to kind of sell the third one. But I just think leave it as that. Two great, huge events for British boxing, great for boxing, great for British boxing. Like people say, boxing's on its arse. Like we've had Dubois against Usyk stadium fight. We've had Crocker that done well in Belfast, like that done that stadium, and then the stadium last night. Boxing's alive and kicking.
It certainly is, and there's no more. You mentioned it there as well, the sort of respect between the two fighters, and it was shown in the post-fight interview. And that was nice to see, because there has been quite a lot of animosity and hatred in the two build-up to this fight, more so in the first fight with the egg slap and whatnot. But it was nice to see them both give each other respect, sharing 24 rounds.
I compare it to like when Josh and Jack Catterall boxed each other. Like they're probably never going to be best of friends, but they respect each other because you've done 24 rounds with each other. And Eubank had to give Conor that respect because he just got a bit of a pasting, didn't he, over 12 rounds, and he got put on his arse a couple of times in the 12th round. You have to kind of show Conor Benn that kind of respect. But yeah, it's always good to see respect after battle.
I mean, there wasn't the first fight. There was all that drama that you mentioned, but the second fight had probably one of the best ring walks I've seen on a British soil.
Amazing.
50 Cent coming out with Chris Eubank Jr.
Do you know what, Andrew? Right, I'm just putting it back. When Jack boxed, I didn't realise James Bond. He's one of my favourite actors. Pierce Brosnan is one of my favourite actors. One of my heroes, honestly, right? And I kind of looked over and I kind of stumbled across him. I was just like, and I said to him, listen, I'm not going to have a picture. I don't want my view for a picture. I'm just letting you know, you were the best James Bond. GoldenEye, the best James Bond. What a film that is. I might have watched it tonight. But the stars, I mean, the 50 Cent comes second for me, who I saw. But when I seen 50 Cent just appear, because no one knew he was coming, I was just like, oh, this is that. It was like, everyone in the building was like, oh, like half starstruck because of all these superstars. Like Henri was there.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie, all of the big, Jason Statham, big, huge stars. But that's what it attracts, these events. And boxing, when it's mainstream like that, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. And like, listen, I was thinking on my way home, because I can never really enjoy it while I'm there. But when I come home, I'm just thinking, wow, that was so special. What a night to be a part. But yes, going back to what you're saying, what a ring walk. 2 back-to-back amazing ring walks from Chris Eubank Jr.
Definitely. Now, we touched on it a little bit there with Conor Benn coming down to 147 and being the money fight. Your man Jack Catterall, who we know you've managed for a long time now, he's a good friend of yours. He's at 147. He got a good win last night. Talk to me.
Listen, Jack just wants to win a world title. He's so desperate to win a world title. And I think last night with his performance, people were impressed. Listen, Ekow was in the fight for a couple of rounds. He kind of brought it back when Jack brutally flattened him, flat packed him in the 4th round. I thought it was over, thought finished, because Jack's been really working on sitting on his shots for this fight. He really has, and I know it showed. People were expressing they saw the spite in Jack's shots, because Jack can punch. He's always been able to punch. It's just having the belief to let your hands go, and that's what it's been instilled into him in Philadelphia to do so. And look, you saw the damage he done with all the shots. Jack was brilliant last night. Brilliant last night. But listen, Ekow is a tough, tough night's work. Top 10 in the Ring magazine for a reason.
Mm.
Tough, tough man. Um, but yeah, Jack performed well, and he got the stoppage. I think that the type of performance he needed after the Barboza earlier on in the year, and then the Harlem Eubank. Yeah, Jack won every round of that easy, but it wasn't the performance it wasn't the fight that Jack wanted to give the fans. Because listen, Jack's been coming under a lot of criticism in his last fight, that he needs to kind of let his hands go more on Turkey. Took to Twitter to say what he said, and he ultimately, because of Jack's responses on Twitter, he landed himself a big night on a Riyadh card. And listen, Jack took it with both hands, because a lot was on the line. A lot of pressure was on Catterall's shoulders last night. I mean, he went away to Philadelphia for 7.5 weeks, left at the time his 2-week-old son. Listen, obviously it's well documented, his relationship with Jamie and Nigel, 10-year long. It's like that. It's a lot. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot for Jack to deal with, but he dealt with it, and he put the icing on the cake last night with a fantastic performance against a really, really tough Ekow Essuman.
Excuse me. I agree, Sam. I thought last night when I watched Jack. Now, when I think of Jack, and when I talk to people about Jack's style, you could almost say like he's a patient counterpuncher. We didn't really see that last night. We've seen a little bit more. I don't. Maybe aggression is the wrong word, but he was trying to pile the pressure over the front foot.
No,
He was
you
trying
got
to
it
come
right.
forward.
You
Yeah.
got it right the first time. More aggression.
Mm. And
But
is that?
when,
Sorry, I was going to
when
say, is
you
that's what Boozy's looking for then? More aggression, more throw. Go for it.
So when Jack went in there and he sparred for the first time, he went and the sparring partners that have sparred Jack, they were like, he can really punch. So Bozy wanted to get more out of him. That's what it was all about. Because listen, you can't change Jack completely as a fighter. You're not going to do that. It's just not possible, because Jack is what he is. But Jack does need to let his hands go more, and he does need to believe in his power a little bit more. And you saw that. Look at the shot he hit Ekow with in the fourth round, just cleaned him out. And then Ekow, because of his resilience and his pure fitness, got him up off the canvas. Because someone with less fitness than that, and less if you're not in the best of shape, you're not getting up from that. And Ekow showed what a tough man he is. He got up, and he got himself, dragged himself back into the fight in stages. But then Jack was just, it was a brilliant capped it off with a brilliant stoppage. And all that really matters is, well, that Ekow was okay, because we was all legitimately concerned when we saw the mask go on Ekow's face. We just wanted him to be okay afterwards. But no, going back to what we want, Jack just wants a world title next. And I believe he'll get one. He's going to be moved to the number one in the WBO, so it'll be mandatory for the winner of next week. So we've got a keen eye on that. There's Lewis Crocker, who's coming off a big win against Paddy Donovan. Barrios, who everyone's chasing. Everyone's chasing that fight. Looks like Ryan Garcia is going to get that fight. Of course he is. And Rolly Romero would have that fight next. No problem. Jack against Rolly. Let's run it.
I don't want to stay on the Jack fight. Obviously, you talked about the fantastic finish from Jack, but there was the stumble when Jack hitting him when he was do you think the referee maybe could have done a little bit more in that
It's
instance?
possibly, but listen. Jack dropped Ekow with a legitimate shot. It was a legitimate shot, no doubts about it. He caught him on the side of the head with a right hand, and Ekow kind of jumped to his feet, and then it was in front of Jack, and Jack was just protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
And it weren't. I'm not taking nothing away, because John Latham's a really good referee, but it weren't Jack's fault that happened, and the fight was only going one way anyway, because Ekow was hurt after that one. But look, Jack got the win, big win, brilliant performance, statement performance. And listen, Ekow will come again. Ekow's a handful. Ekow's a right handful. And he will give any welterweight a hard night's work due to what he is, the engine.
Oh, there you go. Now, for Jack, though, Rolly Romero, as a manager, you're looking at that welterweight division, you're looking at that Norman Haney winner, you're looking at, obviously, the Ryan Garcia. Mario Barrios is probably the weakest of all the champions with that nice green and gold belt. That's why everybody's chasing him. But for you as the manager, you need to secure that world title shot for Jack. Now, when you're looking at these rankings, when you're looking at them world champions, that 147-pound division, Sam, where are you putting that pin on? Who are you putting that pin on?
No, to be honest with you, Andy, like people think, and I said this when I was on Talksport not long ago. Do you know when the Harlem Eubank fight was made? I was like,
Mm.
it's very easy to say world title fight. We're gonna get the politics involved in boxing is that it doesn't usually work out that way. But I'm confident Jack will get a world title fight after this. I mean, look, he was there against Barboza, interim world title fight. He lost. We think he won the fight, but he lost. He wasn't good that night. He was flat, very flat performance from Jack. And we let it slip. Jack let it slip and he got the fight against Teofimo Lopez. And Jack has to kind of not rebuild again, but do the Harlem Eubank fight and go this. We're now in that position again. And he's not going to let it slip. Jack's going to become a world champion. I really believe that. And Jack will fight any of the world champions. And when I say that, Andrew, I don't mean like, oh, listen, Barrios is clearly, would be clearly the dream fight for Jack, as it would, all the world weights are all calling him out, aren't they? But when I say Jack will fight any of the champions, Crocker, Rowland, Haney Norman winner, Barrios, any of the champions, Jack will fight next. Not a problem.
I've known Jack a long time, and I know when Jack wants a fight, he jumps on a plane. Will he be heading out to? I know he's got his young boy, so probably not. But he normally likes to travel and sit ringside when he wants to pick a fight. Is there any way he's going to go to Riyadh next week?
Who knows? Who knows? Listen, Jack's been away from his family a long time, so I don't think his wife Lauren would be too happy if we end up doing that. But look, if Jack needs to be there, he'll be there.
There we go. I'm gonna do a hard segue left again, like this whole Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul stuff, Sam. You know, as the business side of the sport, you are the business side of the sport. You know, money talks, and money is basically it's prize fighting. Let's call it that. Now, I don't know what the numbers are for Anthony Joshua to fight Jake Paul, but I imagine there'll be a lot of zeros in there. What's your actual thoughts on the fight itself? I mean, you went from Gervonta Davis, who's a career lightweight at 5'5", 140-pounder at most, to a 6'6", 250, 260-pounder in Joshua. I mean, that is just ludicrous, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm not sure whether it's really real or not, but if it is, I mean this when I tell you this, I would fight Jake Paul for the numbers I know Anthony Joshua will get. No problem. You would.
Oh, well,
Any
fuck
person, any person, never mind fighter, any person would fight Jake Paul for those numbers. So you can't begrudge a former unified heavyweight champion that will go in there. And if it's a real fight, he will absolutely flat pack Jake Paul whenever he wants to. Whenever he wants to. Like it's not, it just won't and can't be competitive.
You said you'd fight Jake Paul. I mean,
Yeah, of course I would.
would you just think, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna sit down, take a punch, take my melons, or would you try and beat this
Of
guy?
course I would. What for those types of numbers, like 70 to 100 million? Andrew, you're joking
No, but
me.
I'm just
I train, yeah. I train not to be fat. Genuinely. That's all I train for. I train not to be fat because I like my dinner. I train not to be fat. If you dangle 70 million in front of me, of course I will train my arse off. But if he poleaxes me in one round, who gives a fuck?
you've got 70 million.
That's like you. Jake Paul would chin you. But
No, he wouldn't.
you think you'd beat Jake Paul?
I'd annihilate Jake Paul. He wouldn't deal with the speed. He's too heavy for me.
Right, okay. But, okay, forget all of that. I'll say this again. But if Jake Paul did knock you spark out, does it really matter?
No.
Not really. As long as you're healthy afterwards. Any man is fighting Jake Paul for 70 million. So when people say, oh, this is ridiculous, oh, mate, fair play. Go and collect your bag from Miami.
I tell you what, Sam, it doesn't matter if me and you get poleaxed by Jake Paul, but I think it matters if Anthony Joshua does.
Yeah, but that's just ridiculous because it's just not happening.
Now,
You're not fighting a 65-year-old Mike
well,
Tyson.
that's what I'm saying.
You're fighting an okay, probably past his prime, but still an active top 10 heavyweight in the world. Anthony Joshua would absolutely iron Jake Paul out.
If it goes past one round, will you be surprised?
Yes.
Well, so would I. I mean,
I'd be surprised if Jake Paul landed.
I just look at
I,
what he done to Ngannou, Joshua.
I would be surprised if Jake Paul landed a shot on Anthony Joshua. I'd be disappointed.
Mm.
A
No.
shot. A jab. Shouldn't land a jab on him.
Well, I agree. I agree. And it's just mental that we're actually talking about it, to be honest. Like I said, he went from Javante
No,
Davis.
I'm saying, but we're saying in a hypothetical
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
If it does happen, we're all going to, I'll tune in to watch it. It's great. It'd be great entertainment. It's like I told you,
But
like
you're a
I said it
WWE
so many,
fan, Sam. You're a WWE fan. You
but
like
I've
all
said
that.
it, but I've said it so many times. It's like when you watch Britain's Got Talent, when the magicians like kind of go on there and they lock themselves in a water box and the water box is filling up and you kind of think, oh my life, is something dangerous going to happen? You tune in for that. You know it's dangerous and he's going to get hurt, Jake Paul, if it's real. If it's real, he's going to get hurt. But you are tuning in to watch Jake Paul get flattened.
Okay. I don't know if you saw this because you were there, but on the broadcast, Jamie Ward spoke to Turkey Al Sheikh.
Yeah.
And Turkey basically alluded to the fact that Joshua will fight in February on a Riyadh card. And then in September, he basically almost kind of said that it'll be Fury in September. Do
Okay.
you think it will happen? I don't know if you
Would
saw
be.
what he said. You saw
I've been in boxing nearly 10 years now, and that fight's been spoken about. AJ against Tyson Fury. So I'm a little bit bored with the
it?
conversation of it and the whole Fury in and out of retirement thing. I honestly believe this. They have 1 year, which is 2026, to make this fight happen, or it will never, ever happen. And I think that the British boxing fans won't forgive AJ and Fury if they don't make it happen.
I agree with you. No,
I thought because British boxing fans, they hold on to stuff. They were angry at Khan and Brook. Do you remember when they were when that never
Watch
happened?
and
Because
watch Kawasaki. Yeah.
Froch Kawasaki kind of not, because Kawasaki was at the end of his career and Froch was kind of coming up. So that you can forgive that fight for not happening. No problem.
Mm.
These two, it should have happened years ago. Let's be honest with you. It's happened in too late, but it's better late than never.
Yeah, definitely. Sam, you've got a busy couple of weeks coming up. I think the next one for you is it Monte Carlo?
No,
Oh,
Cameron Vong against
Cameron
Gavin
Vaughan,
Gwynn.
Gavin Gwynn in Birmingham. Yes. Then it's Monte Carlo for Connor Walker
Yeah.
against Pat McCormick, and then what else you got, man? You're busy.
Mm,
Is that it?
might have something else after that. Can't really speak about that yet. But if not, then that'll be the end of the. Oh no, I'll have Adam Macker. Adam Macker at the O2 Indigo to sign the year off, and then straight into 2026. I'm already thinking about the fights that can be made for next year. I mean, Pat Brown, what a year he's had.
Oof, yeah.
Hamza Rudin. The next year is going to be amazing.
Before I let you go, talk to me about Cameron Vaughn and Connor Walker. I mean, they're in two very, very tough fights to end the year. Great for Cameron Vaughn. I mean, what a prospect. But Connor Walker, I suppose both Cameron Vaughn and Connor, they say yes to anything, don't they? They'll fight anyone.
Yeah, I mean, look. I keep saying this over and over again. Look at Cameron Vong's record in 10 fights. Gavin Gwynn twice, Jeff Ofori. In his young career, he's not had the respect he deserves, but I think he'll get his respect after this fight. In fact, I know he'll get the respect after this fight because we're going to see a big performance from Cameron against a brilliant Gavin Gwynn, former British, Commonwealth, European champion. Look at the wins under his record that he's got. Give me 2 seconds, Andrew. Two
Someone's at your
seconds.
door.
Yeah, 1 sec. Oh. I've just ordered a massive curry from Enoki. If you've never been to Enoki in Derby, like it's
Well,
absolutely.
I'm in Derby in 2 weeks. I'm going to the Fraser Clark TKV.
I'm away. I'm against Cameron Vong against it. But listen, I'll organise you to have an Enoki. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, where were we? So yeah, Cameron Vong against Gavin Gwen. Statement performance coming from Cameron. And then Monte Carlo, Conor Walker, massive underdog against Pat McCormack. Massive, massive winner. But that's the way he likes it. 12 rounds. Come and see the wolf in his office in Monte Carlo.
One final one. I know you want to get your curry. Daniel Dubois. What's happening?
Daniel Dubois. We are working on something very, very big for Daniel Dubois early part of 2026. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Sam Jones, thank you so much for doing this for IFLTV. Enjoy. Listen, put me onto this curry because I will go there when I'm in Derby.
No problem. I will organise it especially for you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Sam. Thanks very much, mate. Have a good evening. I'll speak to you soon.
Bye-bye, Andrew. See you in a bit, mate.
Live only on DAZN, November 15th, Eubank Jr versus Ben 2. The first was a classic, now it's the rematch. The greatest rivalry British boxing has ever seen. Eubank Jr versus Ben 2, November 15th. Click the link in the description to buy now.
In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. 10x token puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. Register now for your share of the $250,000 prize pool. Multiple winners, bigger chances. 10xtoken.io. Terms and conditions apply.